Hey there. Today we're starting on a little bit of a side project. I picked up this 300ZX from our friend Derek in Seattle 2 months ago I think already. And Koyo was nice enough to hook us up with their brand new radiator. They're developing a NA specific Z32 radiator, which is kind of an odd redheaded stepchild on the market. Nobody really makes an NA specific one. A lot of people use a twin turbo one and then kind of have to adapt or make it work, but nobody really makes a good specific for NA one. So Koyo's sticking their foot in that market, and I've used Koyos for 15 years and never had any issues with them. I've used them on my stock cars like my dailies, my Xterra has one, my 240's always had a Koyo. Never had any leaks, never really any issues with them, so I'm very happy to try this out on the Z. They gave us some nice little swag bits too, sweet little calendar, some sweatbands, fancy new radiator cap. So today we're gonna throw that in there and probably do an oil change at the same time since it's a little overdue. Car is now jacked up in the air, should be cooled off. Now we can do the works.
Fascinated with facts and fact. On a country of knowledge to lay my feet on. This universe is my university. I read people by actions and mannerisms, speaking body language, thinking in tongues, spitting game and sitting ducks.
So the problem we run into is there's a wiring loom that runs across the engine bay, and now with the thicker radiator it contacts, it rubs. So we're going to remove the trim shielding off this wiring harness, and hopefully that'll give us the clearance to not rub the radiator. We'll find out. Maintaining a pressing issue, although everything that I've always known has been depressing. Thoughts are limited by language, and now our speech has been limited by our sight. And since all I know is sound and see is colors, all I understand is compared to everywhere I've been on. Playing the big
a sawed off in the rifle closet, or leaning against flickering images of artificial light, spitting shadows into the absence of all I touch, leaving imprints upon the populace. I've got further to learn than I've got to say. Furthermore, I'm never taking a step for granted. Nevertheless, I'm at odds with the fact I'm just one character on the stage. Oddly enough, built to travel to the next page. I've got further to learn than I've got to say. Furthermore, I'm never taking a step for granted. Nevertheless, I'm at odds with the fact I'm just one character on the stage. Oddly enough, built to travel to the next page. All these scarlet letters and prying eyes sting better in dim times. Hum sounds of crumbled paper, fighting knives come through a warp among closed lids, supported by the reasons to tear the flames and burn. I may inhale the knowledge of those who slave late night by fading lights and burnt wicks. Live transcribed to parchment, now computer scream. I'm a widowmaker of insolence, wisdom and machine. Metal tongue is my extension cord. I'm the silhouette of a Silicon Valley cobra snake, breathing for words to taste. Translate taste is walking the outer limits of language. On average, against the grain to everything I know has been slanted. We sometimes speak not knowing what shall be exposed. I've learned how to gauge intelligence by pieces of paper. Sons of change of the age of foes. Instead by the weight of endeavors, the impression behind the highs to your lows. But lo and behold, my heart isn't in the right place. I wear it on my sleeve so I can press it to my white face. In this dry heat, every emotion contained in the Pandora's box entitled Soul. Subtitle: I extend my arm as an offering to read my palm. Shake my hand as helping hand, as unseen hand, thumbing through the margins and bindings and numbings of the pumpkin heads now glowing and caving in. I am the light, the image that draws your stare. I am the dark, the absolute matter of air. I am positive energy, I am flame engulfing literature. I am sure I am raising my arm and lowering my guard, my brow. My 21 decades of experience and evolution. Don't stop. Constantly increasing these soliloquies, muted eavesdropping a professor, learning from the professor, becoming a professor. This magnetic earned aggressor, this basic model, learning imposter, becoming a professor.
Apparently there was a satellite launch just now. Grab mine, fool!
I'm at odds with the fact I'm just one character on the stage. Oddly enough, built to travel to the next page. I've got further to learn than I've got to say. Furthermore, I've never taken a step for granted. Nevertheless, I'm at odds with the fact I'm just one character on the stage. Oddly enough, built to travel to the next page. I've got further to learn than I've got to say. Furthermore, I've never taken a step for granted. Nevertheless, I'm at odds with the fact I'm just one character on the stage. Oddly enough, built to travel to the next page. I've got further to learn than I got to say. Furthermore, I've never taken a step for granted. Nevertheless, I'm at odds with the fact I'm just one character on the stage. Oddly enough, built to travel to the next page.
Because it's usually a second stage. Like the first stage of the rocket runs out of fuel, and they dump it.
Fake news.
Launch of Iridium 4 from SpaceX Launch Complex 4E at Vandenberg.
Now we're gonna bleed it for a while, and
This fancy Lyle funnel, which is a godsend. I highly recommend everyone and their mother get one, because they're like $30 and they make bleeding real fucking easy. So, I don't know if you can see, but this will bleed all, bleed all the air out of the cooling system, and it just takes a while. Just let it run with the heater on.
let it do its thing. We'll bleed the whole system out. I'll run it again tomorrow for a while just to make sure everything's bled, and do an oil change too, since we ran out of daytime. Radiator's bled. Changed the oil. Finally. Fresh transmission fluid, fresh coolant, fresh hoses. Should be ready to rock and roll. Only a couple of very minor issues that we ran into dealing with installing the radiator. One was the wiring harness that we had to condense, and the other one was attaching the shroud to the radiator, but those are really easy, and I'll detail them further in the video. Quick, easy fixes, and probably ones that'll be fixed by the time the production version of the radiator comes out from Koyo. So keep an eye on the channel. We'll be back with more videos soon.